for the Nifty, about 137 points higher in trade for the Nifty. So we are looking at the markets which are inching towards the day's high level. Banks are recovering in trade as well, 0.2% higher for the Nifty Bank. ICICI Bank is the top contributing stock as far as the Nifty gains are concerned. Among the other stocks, it's the Adani Group as a whole which has been moving strongly. Adani Enterprises, the top mover on the Nifty, followed by M&M, Hero Moto, JSW Steel, Larsen & Toubro and Adani Ports. These are the top movers as far as the Nifty is concerned. Now let's talk about the other sectoral moves that we have been seeing. Remember, through the morning trading session, we've been looking at a whole host of moves coming in on the metals pack, on the defense pack as well. Now across the board, barring say FMCG, pharma, indices, rest of the sectors are all up and about in trade. Where are the gains really coming in from? Autos, which have driven to the top gear, 1.9% higher in trade. Metals that have taken in further move on the upside, 2.9% higher for this one. A percent up for the realty space. Oil and gas up by 1.5%. Consumer durables also up by 1%. So moods definitely lifted in the markets as of now. The F&O space also sees a whole host of these metal names like Nalco up and about 7% higher in trade. Your Steel Authority, we discussed JSPL in the morning trading action, so that's up and about. Vedanta is higher in trade as well, and now Vodafone Idea is seeing some traction, about 4.5% higher in trade. Shell, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the most important parameter for the index today, which is the India VIX. I'm hoping the PCR will be able to draw out a chart for you. Remember, for the last 13 trading sessions, India VIX has troubled our traders no end. I'm not sure whether the chart is there or not, but nevertheless, everybody and his mother are tracking the India VIX these days, I'm sure you are aware. But today is a day of reckoning, and let's hope this index at 20.20 is going to close in the negative territory after 13 days of successive rallies. It is already down about 0.4, which roughly translates to 1-2% decline. If this falls today, then ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a very strong up move, which is most likely. Remember, everything and anything that traders like in terms of sectors that are on the move have been going very strongly. As far as railways has been, you've seen a very smart move coming into stocks such as Ircon and Railtel, up about 7 and 9% respectively. If you look at the defense space, remember, all 15 defense stocks started in the green today, led today by Cochin Shipyard. The company had won an order of at least 500 crores. The counters blasting towards 1350, up about 11.5%. Very strong move coming in the likes of Masgao Dock and BDL, up 7 and 5% respectively. Apart from that, the entire PSU basket, the erstwhile high beta low ticket items are abuzz with gains. Likes of Engineers India, Sakshi mentioned Nalco. Look at the entire metal profile within this space. You have strong gains coming in on Steel Authority. You have a very strong uptick on stocks such as GMDC, up 4%. Look at the move that is coming in on stocks such as manganese ore and Midhani. All of them are doing excellent moves. Hindustan Copper is up 3.5%. These are signs of high beta trades doing phenomenally well after 5-7 days of very serious selling. Now, if you look at the top traded counters in terms of volume, the only quibble, ladies and gentlemen, today is that volumes are not what they were usually, but amongst the top 20 stocks traded in terms of volume, just 3 of them are in the red. One is Zomato, the top traded counter today, 1800 crores worth of transactions, down 4%. Mild profit booking on Hindustan Zinc. Remember, last week it had appreciated 27%, so no worries there. And of course, ICICI Bank about 0.6% lower. Nothing to be worried about. I am fairly confident today that we'll get a close above 22,200. Let's hope that sticks, and I am praying that we get a negative close on India VIX. That will put rest to many fears, including the performance of what the BJP might come up on 4th of June as far as election results are concerned. So fairly strong sentiment and traction that is coming in. Prashant Tapse, research analyst and senior VP for Mehta Equities, should be joining us. Let's see whether he's with the screen or not. Yes, Prashant is with us. Good afternoon, Mr. Tapse. A very nice light shade of green across Dalal Street. I am sure your community is rejoicing, and a lot of trading activity, trading volumes and brokerage income is back in the market. How do you see the sentiment, and any stocks you feel which might outperform?
I think from last 2 days, the sentiments are getting stronger and stronger. But there are 2-3 reasons which I would like to highlight now. One was the oversold position in terms of technicals yesterday in the index wise, both in terms of Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty. Second, again, the Home Minister had some highlighted headline statements saying that they are going to have high confident results in June 4. So that also given some kind of support to the Indian markets. Third would be again the Q4 earnings, which are more and more getting positive. If you see last 700 to 800 results which are already declared, almost 55 to 56% of the results are in the positive zone, where margins have expanded 200 basis points. So which is giving markets a sentimental positive support to come up in a positive way. I think these are the 3 reasons why the sentiments are getting positive. Fourth, maybe the same reason what we were discussing in the phase 1 to phase 4 election data, wherein 65 to 69% range of turnout is going to happen, and that is being very common in these last 4 phases. But we have to focus more on the new people who have joined in these elections. Almost 2 crore people have joined the elections this year when compared to 2019 and 2014. So I think that would be making a big changes in this election data. So I am very much positive. I think the trend is very strong. A close above 22,200 will give you a more upside target of 22,500. So where we can get more stronger.
Very good afternoon to you, Prashant. Good to have you with us. Where are you really looking in for fresh buying in this kind of a market? Since morning, we've been seeing a lot of metals that have been buzzing, defense stocks have been buzzing, railways have been in the thick of action. Where do you see promise?
I think the sectors which you discussed were very different from my thing. I think I'm positive on power sector. Tata Power would be the first stock which I'm focusing a lot. 425, 426 at these levels, very limited downside from these levels, and a trader can take an opportunity for at least for the next 10-15 days before the results are out in the elections. Say 450, 460 can be a target in the power segment, and fundamentally Tata Power is a best-in-class power company. And second stock would be again Mankind. I am tracking this company from last 2-3 years, and I think there are some news saying that they are going to buy some vaccine brands. So there are the rumors on the market. But I think technically, again, there's a bottom down last few days back. So the stock can really trade upside for 2,500 as a target for very short term. These are the 2 stocks on my radar.
Okay, understood. So that's the 2 stocks that are on your radar. What do you make of this entire Adani stocks move today, Prashant? And anything that catches your attention where you see now things turning in favor?
I think the announcement of 80,000 crores of investments in the group, that would be the reason why all these Adani Group stocks are up. And I think the more cash flow would be on Adani Port. I think that stock can do better. Adani Port with a target of 1,400 plus in a very shorter time. And overall, a long term, I have a target of 1,500. So port is a business which is giving a huge cash flows to the business, and the way how import exports are business are going around the world and around the India. I think the port is the best in class stock to be invested.
Fair point. Let's just take a detour into the market and see what are the kind of sectors and stocks that are working in favor of bulls today. We'll first take a look at the advanced decline ratio. Very strong at about 243. We have about 1,800 shares in the green and just 500 in the red. I'll just mark all-time highs as far as the markets are concerned, and you'll notice some stocks that we discussed even before markets open today. A strong tailwind on Jindal Steel and Power, 4% higher, 977. Remember, earnings for the fourth quarter nearly doubled to beyond 900 crore rupees. From the auto pack, you have a record high on M&M, you have a record high on Hero Motors. In fact, a change of digit in Hero Motors, now beyond 5,000. Escorts is back in fashion, 3,656. Aisha Motors buzzing after earnings, 4733. And of course, within the auto ancillary pack, you have Bosch doing the rounds in terms of strength. Apart from that, earnings boy Siemens is doing pretty well. At the moment, 6596, down a bit, but remember it was up 10% yesterday. You have a strong move coming into Hindustan Aeronautics. This was the first stock that we picked up on the long side in the morning, 4051, 3.3% higher. And of course, you have an unusual entry today, which is Marico. Sakshi, I can't remember the last time Marico hit an all-time high, 605. It's so far back in my memory that I am unable to recollect when was the all-time high earlier. 605 for you, a very strong move coming in, and yes, it is a multi-year breakout. Last time we saw this price, it was October 2021. Let's get our good friend into the conversation and get a discussion going on Marico. Prashant ji, what are charts of Marico telling you?
As you rightly said, it is giving a multi-year breakout about 605. Any close about this level will give you more upside on the sector as well as the stock. I am very much bullish on the result where it has resulted last week. The volumes have grown better than the street estimations, which is giving the stock to move like this. I think a close above 620, 625 would be the better level one should watch for a long-term investors. But I think again, it is very difficult to close above 620, and there may be some kind of profit booking attempts also taken care. But on a fundamental basis, Q4 earnings were better than street estimates, and we are positive on merit.
Okay, got that. Right, so that's as far as Marico is concerned. Let's also address some of the other stocks that are in momentum. Let's discuss. Okay, I wanted to discuss a few stocks. I had noted them down. Let me just see if there is anything that I can pull out. Hero Motorcorp. Let me just take Prashant, your view also. I had talked about this stock right in the morning when it was showing just signs of an uptick, and it touched all-time high levels. It's continued to move up higher, 3% higher for Hero Motor right now at 5,035. Where do you see the stock headed?
I think the industry data which was reported yesterday has given a 13-14% a growth target for next financial year in the two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment. And in two-wheeler, I think Hero Honda and Bajaj are the two big leaders who can manage this kind of growth. But in terms of technicals, I don't think the stock can make more upside from these levels on a very short period of time. One should look at booking profits at these levels in Hero Motors. But I am very much positive on Bajaj Auto. I think the target of 10,000 can be still seen in this stock. And this is the way how they have launched the new Bajaj, the heavy vehicle. So that I think that can be next mover for Bajaj Auto. So positive on Bajaj Auto and neutral on Hero Honda.
Okay, got that. So that's the move coming in on view coming in on the entire auto space right now. What else is buzzing? A whole host of other movers at this point. Vodafone Idea, it's up by 5% in trade today. And of course, there is this entire news about how, Prashant, there could be a 25% surge in the mobile bills after the elections. And that's the Access Capital report that has come in, because telecom operators are probably now looking at increasing their profitability. If it happens, this would be the fourth round of price increases by them, and this would definitely bump up their ARPUs. How are you looking at the telecom space, and anything towards that you would want to focus on?
I think telecom industry is the need of the hour for a country like India, which is going highly on digital. Vodafone Idea would be again a high risk category, but yes, the way how they have raised money of 18,000 crores will give them a good room of investment and getting more aggressive towards the 4G services. I think they have already launched 17 main circles about the 4G services. So that will give them a good hold on their customers. If you see March numbers, they lost almost 10 lakh customers. In April, I think they lost 6 lakh customers. And if they are successfully launching these 4G services in the 17 circles, I think the losing customer trend will obviously get neutralized in coming 1 or 2 quarters. And the way how you said regarding the hike in the prices post elections, I think 15-20% is about to come post elections, and that will be benefiting the whole industry. But the major benefit would come for Vodafone because of the low base and the customers which are shifting from 2G to 4G. Overall, a high risk category stock. But yes, if you have a view of 1 or 2 years, I think this can be a good trading or investing stock.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Prashant, for being with us on this very special edition and sharing all these thoughts and ideas with our viewers in terms of the kind of views you have shared. Time to turn our focus on the earnings, and we are going to be keeping a keen eye out on PVR Inox earnings as well. Joining us now is a very special guest, Mr. Ajay Bijli Joinsing, the Managing Director of PVR Inox is with us. Very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us on Business Today Television. Just a quick update for all our viewers, the kind of earnings that have been reported. Revenue has seen an improvement of 11% odd at 1290 odd crore rupees. EBITDA has seen an improvement of 31%. Margins have come in at 2.7%, and the net loss has also decreased year on year to about 130 odd crore rupees. So an improvement all across. How have you assessed the numbers this time around, Mr. Bijli? And vis-a-vis last few quarters, is there a clear trend of an uptick and an improvement coming in now?
Yeah, you see, first of all, thanks for having me. And post-COVID, the graph is only going up, which is what makes us happy and reassured that out-of-home movie watching experience is here to stay. 140 million people came to our cinemas last year, and this year, if I complete the full year, it's about 150 million people. So from that, if I take the overall yearly numbers, even though we're reporting our quarterly numbers and yearly numbers, revenues are up by 17%, and our EBITDA is up by 13%. So I think this is a great trend from where we are coming after that a very serious setback that we received during COVID. So the trend is only upwards. All pillars which make our business, the three engines, which is the consumer, he's coming back to the cinemas, therefore we got these numbers. The film fraternity released 1,700 films last year, and even this year they're releasing close to that number. And of course, real estate, shopping centers and malls are also coming across everywhere, and where we've established ourselves as a brand. We opened 130 odd screens last year, and this year we're looking at about 120. So I think overall, the business is on the upswing only.
Mr. Bijli, good afternoon, and again a very warm welcome on Market Today. I just wanted to understand how do you see the next next 6 months to a year? Of course, we are getting out of this very high octane election campaign, where I presume that footfalls traditionally drop in cinemas such as yours, but this is more or less compensated by news coming in that single owner and single screen cinema halls are mostly shutting down or just showing 1 or 2 shows because of the background noise on elections. How do you see the next 6 months, and if you can give us the pipeline that you have in terms of releases?
Well, you see, this business has been always remains cyclical. I mean, typically, the volatility is not that much, but we have elections. So when elections come in the regions where the elections are happening, cinemas have to close down. So that's why you find that the movie lineup, a lot of movies don't get released. But I think after 4th June, there's a whole lot of pent-up demand, both from the consumer side as well as a huge supply from the film fraternity, regional movies, Hindi movies. I think you asked me about the lineup. There's a Chandu Champion coming. First Amir Khan movie after a long time is coming, Sitare Zameen Par. Bhool Bhulaiya 3. Then we've got Stree 2. Singham is coming. Raid 2 is coming. Deva is coming. Baby John is coming. Welcome to the Jungle is coming. Pushpa 2 is something that the whole country is looking forward to. Kalki is a big one. So Indian 2. So there's a good solid lineup of films coming, which will start from June onwards. but elections happen every 4 years, and so obviously there's a dearth of films that get released during this period.
Fair point. So the pipeline is thick and fat, and of course, I'm sure people are also very keen to enjoy cinemas, and the lists that you mentioned in terms of releases, they look fairly good. Mr. Bijli, please share with us this expansion plan, 120 new screens that are coming in the pipeline in FY25. What would be the geographical spread? And I just wanted to understand how much per screen is PVR Inox deploying in terms of capital costs?
Well, this time, most of the screens, about 50% of the 120 screens that we're opening are going to be in South. North is about 28% roughly. And then East and Central are about, 13%, 3% and 8%. So roughly, but bulk of our screens are in South. We are very big fans of that market. India is a very disparate market, heterogeneous market, where movie-going habits and supply of movies change from region to region. In South, we have Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, English and Hindi. All 6 languages get consumed. And the movie-going index is very high, which is the reason why we feel that is a place where we should be investing. In terms of capex, our intensity of capital expenditure this year is going to be less than last year. And plus, we're also doing deals in which we are running, going into an asset light model and an asset right model. We are, requesting our developers, striking deals with them where they are also contributing towards the capex. So our per screen cost is going to come down this year, as opposed to the way we were investing earlier. We're also exploring FOCO models like other retail companies, franchise owned and company operated, which also after establishing the brand over last 25 years and being an integral part of malls is something that we can now look towards. So that's our strategy going forward.
I also wanted to ask you on the strategic announcement that you've made with Devyani International for operating food courts in shopping malls. Do tell us how is this plan in place going to be shaping out, and what is the kind of potential revenue addition that you could be looking at with this partnership going forward?
Well, it's a pivot for us because we're already getting, as I said, 150 million odd people to our cinemas. F&B is a very important part, as you know, of our revenues. It is all post-ticketed. Only when people buy a ticket and they go inside and they have popcorn, Pepsi. But we thought that we should also look at, getting more share of the wallet of the consumers who are coming to us and look at some pre-ticketed F&B sales. So these food courts are going to be adjacent to the cinemas that we have got. Our tie-up with Devyani is for shopping centers and malls across the country, and where we believe that branded food courts is you don't find too many, and we're going to be branding the food courts very well. We're going to be managing them very well. Also, because Devyani has got their own brands which are there, like Costa Coffee, Pizza Hut, KFC. Quite a bit of the offtake of the shop food courts will be with their own brands as well. And in a way, we'll be a sub-franchisee in these food courts. So I think it's a good pivot and a revenue model for PVR. PVR has only been focusing only on one thing, which is cinemas and post-ticketed revenues. But I think there's a first pivot, and that too with a very respected partner like Devyani, who are one of the best food operators in the country. So we are, being cautious about it by not doing it on our own, but with an expert in the field.
Okay. So also a little bit on your bottom line as well. You've reduced your net loss to 130 odd crore rupees. How soon do you see posting a quarterly profit going forward from here? What will be the timeline that we are looking at here?
Well, next 12 to 18 months, hopefully you'll only see improvement, because as I said, everybody is firing in terms of film fraternity. Consumers are wanting to go back and watch movies on the big screen where they're meant to be seen. So I think next few quarters you will see an improvement in all our margins. We've reduced our cost dramatically, and you'll see that in our investor presentation as well. that every line item, we've given a comparison from 2020 to 2024, manpower, HR, various other costs which are there. We're focusing on reducing our costs to make sure that our margins, EBITDA margins, as well as our ROC improves, and we go back to the pre-COVID levels.
Okay. Mr. Bijli, one of the quibble points that not only analysts who are avid movie goers, but also movie goers in general have is the very high cost that you charge for popcorn and Coke. I was just looking at the numbers. If you drill down into the basics, you have about 108 crores worth of F&B revenue versus 87 crores a year ago. And if you look at the full number, it's it's 47 crores for the quarter gone by, compared with 29 crores a year ago, and of course a very wholesome 108 crores for the full year versus 87 crores. Now, is this only because of price rises, or is it because of, as you mentioned, higher footfalls? I just want to know, is this the mainstay of PVR now, F&B?
I don't know where you're getting the numbers from. Definitely, there's an increase in the F&B spends. I mean, we are at 100. I'm talking about the whole year. Whole year we were at 120 prior to this year. Last financial year we moved to 132, and our ATP growth has only been 10%. From 236
Yes.
we moved to 259. However, because India is such a disparate market, we have a proposition for the value conscious customer, as well as for customer who is more sensitive to an experience. So that's why we've got this 349 rupees passport, where in one month you can watch 4 movies for a fraction of a cost. So I think that is from Monday to Thursday, and we've got an amazing response to that as well. So it's not as if we have outpriced ourselves to get the value conscious customer in. And we also have this 99 rupee offer of unlimited refills of Pepsi popcorn, which we are continuing with. And so that is again something to attract the value conscious customer. So as I said, India is a very disparate market, and because we've got a large base of 1744 screens in various tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, we have to make sure that we don't outprice ourselves and discourage.
Okay. And let me just add a personal experience here, Mr. Bijli. I still remember the time when PVR Priya in Vasant Vihar used to have the first row at an unbelievable price of 5 rupees a ticket. I've had the pleasure of watching that one as well. And of course, in your lovely Cineplex in Mumbai shopping malls. So I'm a big fan, but as an analyst, I must also make an effort to ask the right questions. Of course, we go to movies for the wonderful experience, as also for the company that we go along with. All points taken. Let's just look at the broader theme, Mr. Bijli. IPL on one side, OTT on the other, and a very news-hungry country that we are. All these compete with PVR to look at eyeballs. There is some view in the market that the glory days of cinema halls might be behind us. Do you agree with this assessment?
No, I don't agree, because not because I'm in this business. I don't agree because I think for time immemorial, home entertainment and out-of-home entertainment have coexisted. It's just the name of the home entertainment, in-home entertainment, that keeps changing. There was VHS, there was color television prior to that, and cinemas, got a dent and then again bounced back. So I think it's not a binary existence where of either or. Both will exist, and the same consumers who are, watching a TV show. I think TV shows are more watched at home than movies. Movies, of course, are watched at home only after the 8-week theatrical release is over. But consumers are also not straight-jacketed. They'll sit at home, put their feet up, and watch a movie or a TV show if they feel like. At the same time, they'll go out and watch a movie on the big screen, much like eating at home or getting food from Swiggy or Zomato and also going out to a restaurant. So I think both have coexisted. Yes, the decibel levels of OTT got accentuated a lot because we were shut for 2 years. So you can imagine that the voice had to increase, but slowly the trends are showing that people are realizing that both things are something that they can consume. So, as I said, it's been 2 years only. And, every stakeholder is finding its own feet now. And this form of entertainment is here to stay.
Right. And Mr. Bijli, my last question to you, sir. In the current FY25, are there any fundraising plans, any equity dilutions in the pipeline?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Bijli. It's such a pleasure to host you and listen to all that is happening in the world of entertainment. I hope we meet again over the quarter, and this time Sakshi and I will be coming to one of your multiplexes to do a wonderful interview and reminisce about all the glory days of
and hear you sing live, sir. Hear you sing live. That is going to be extremely important.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Thanks for your patronage. Thanks for your support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is the band still working? Are you still singing on any platform? I think we lost him.
Yeah.
So Sakshi, would you believe a movie ticket for 5 rupees?
Since the time I've started to watch it, it's been only 100 rupees and above.
So if you had a JNU ID, you could buy a ticket for the front row of PVR for 5 rupees. And I remember seeing so many movies. This has been such a wonderful recollection of time. And here we are. I think what's the multiplex ticket? I'm sure Rishi Pathak would be knowing. I think it's 1200 rupees or something. I may be wrong, but that's how prices have moved. And I have such great memories of watching. PVR Inox used to be a single screen company in Vasant Kunj, in Vasant Vihar, and then they bought over that Saket unit called Anupam Cinema, which is still PVR Anupam. So great memories, and here we are, thousands of screens old in a span of just 25-30 years. Such is life, and this is how life changes. Sakshi.
All right. Well, moving on, let's also welcome our other guest on the show then. Nilesh Jain has joined in, AVP Technical Research, Centrum Broking, to tell us more about what's buzzing in the markets. 115 points higher on the Nifty at 22,218. A smart rebound in trade today after those dips that we saw yesterday in the green side. How are you looking at the markets, Nilesh, and what's looking attractive to you in this market?
Very good afternoon to you, Sakshi. Good afternoon, Shalenji, and good afternoon, everyone. So, if you remember, Sakshi, we connected on Friday, and that was the first reversal candle that we spotted in the Nifty index, and we have seen a good support of its 100-day moving average and also a support of a rising trend line. So, a cluster of support near about 21,900 to 20,000 zone, and Nifty has very much appreciated and defended that particular level. And we are witnessing a reversal for the third straight session. We expect this momentum to continue, and this pullback may extend further towards 22,300 to 22,500. And the structure is looking positive with a buy and decline approach. The support now is placed at 20,000 on the closing basis. So all these are spot levels. Looking at the derivative data of the weekly expiring this week, this data also shows some positive development. Put writers have shifted their position at 22,000 and 22,100 strike, and call writers have also shifted higher towards 22,400 and 22,500. So a new range for the Nifty looks like 22,000 to 22,500. If at all we see any dip towards 22,150 to 22,100, that might get bought into. And surprisingly, and also on a positive side, the India VIX volatility index, which was rising for the 13 consecutive sessions, have now given a first reversal candle. It looks like it is forming a shooting star, And if at all we see any further cool off on India week, that will certainly provide more comfort to the bulls. And if at all any dip below 18, that would be certainly a positive sign.
Nileshi, good afternoon. I am sure anybody who's listening to you wants to send ghee shakkar to you, listening to your views on India VIX. It is my personal hope today and a prayer that this one ends in negative territory after, as you very rightly mentioned, 13-day uptick. And once that happens, I think the momentum on the Lal Street for the bulls will get more traction. I think across the board we are seeing a very smart rally. Metals are shining, railway stocks are in top gear. You have the defense stocks on offense. A very smart move coming in across the PSU basket, whether it's banks, whether it is companies like Engineers India Limited, HUDCO. So the entire high beta, low ticket item stocks across the board are moving. What are your one or two picks that you think might outperform over the next 2 or 3 sessions or so? Positional calls.
Right, so 2 stock ideas, both are on the long side. The stock that is on my radar is Adani Port. First of all, this particular counter is giving a technical breakout, as well as shorts are getting covered here, and it is in a positive territory for the 3rd consecutive session. And good price and volume breakout can be seen on the daily time frame chart. So we expect this momentum to continue towards 1360 to 1380. On the upside, currently it is trading somewhere near about 1330. So stop loss should be placed at 1310. So 1310 should be the stop loss, and we expect further up move to continue towards 1360 to 1380. And apart from that, if you look at overall large cap space, L&T, this particular counter has taken support at its 200-day exponential moving average, and we expect this up move to extend further towards 3450 to 3500. Stop loss for the long position should be placed somewhere around 3335. So 3335 should be the stop loss, and the target would be 3450 to 3500.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on the stocks that Nilesh is really positive on. Nilesh, the other stock that I wanted to discuss with you is Nalco. With the kind of move that we have seen today, do you see there is further up steam left on this one? A very stunning move has come in today, and of course that's entirely the metal story that's been playing out.
Right, Sakshi. So we are very much bullish on the metal index. If you look at the Nifty metal index itself, it has given a fresh breakout, and it has hit a fresh record high as well.
Yeah.
So currently, Nifty metal index is trading at 9,350 odd levels. So we expect up move to continue, and we might see a 5-figure here as well. So 10,000 should be the target for Nifty metal index, and the stocks that we are liking within this space, first of all, Nalco that we have just mentioned, the structure looks strong, and upside is very much open for 200 to 220. 183 should be the stop loss for the long position. Apart from that, within this space, another stock that we are liking is Steel Authority of India Limited sale. Structure here as well looks positive for 170 to 175. 159 should be the stop loss for the long position. In fact, if you pull out any metal names, we are witnessing a strong momentum today. So overall, metal as a pack looks strong.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the metal story is unfolding in front of us. Apart from this, are you also looking at the moves that we are seeing across the auto space today? With the likes of Hero, M&M, Eicher Motors, the way all of these are driving in the faster lane. What looks positive to you? The index itself is 1.9% at the day's high move already.
So apart from metals, another sector that is trading at almost at all-time high, that is Nifty Auto Index. So yes, this space as a whole also looks strong. So within this space, the stock that we are liking, first of all, within two-wheeler space, Hero MotoCorp, this particular counter has given a good breakout of the last 3 months consolidation. So Hero Moto looks positive for 5150 to 5200 sort of target on the upside. stop loss should be placed somewhere near about 4,960. So 4960 should be the stop loss. 5150 and 5200 should be the target on in the near term. Apart from that, TVS Motor is another counter. It looks like it is forming an inverse HNS and also giving a breakout from the same. So yes, TVS Motor also looks strong for a position target of 2250 to 2300. Stop loss can be placed below 2080.
Okay. Well, earnings coming through. Andhra Paper is reporting its numbers. Shell, just 1 second. I wanted to read out
please go
the
ahead, Sakshi.
Andhra Paper
Please go ahead.
results that have come in.
Please.
So for the earnings from profitability, it's actually reduced this quarter for Andhra Paper from 154 odd crore rupees last year same quarter. The profit is down to just 38 crore rupees. More importantly, the company has announced a 1:5 splitting of the shares as well, which the company has given an approval for. Revenues have also come in, after softer from last year's same quarter. If you look at the kind of revenues that are being reported, you will be able to see that from about 320 odd crore rupees that were reported last, no, it's coming to 364 crore rupees, down from 560 crore rupees. So even though top line and bottom line have declined, there is a slight uptick that is being seen on Andhra Paper. Is it the stock split news that's cheering Andhra Paper right now? Nilesh, what would you say?
See, if you look at the structure of this particular counter, it is currently trading somewhere on 527 and it is constantly facing resistance at 540. So I would rather wait for a breakout above 540 to initiate a long position. At current level, I would wait and watch. And if at all, if somebody is taking long position or holding this particular stock, then can keep a stop loss below 505 for the long position. From positional point of view, I think there could be possibility of a base formation here, but I would prefer to wait for a breakout above 540 to initiate a long position.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we have about 14 minutes left for the trades to lapse for what has been a very Mangalvar. So all through across the board, no matter how you slice or dice the market, there is a shade of light green, deep green and robust green. So if you look at the defense pack, it's totally on the offensive. Almost double-digit gains coming on Cochin Shipyard, very high single-digit gains on the stocks like BEML, BDL, Mazgaon Dock. Apart from that, look at Mazgaon Dock. It's trying to end at day's high 2334, and this has also moved towards a higher trajectory. Let me see what is the all-time high of Mazgaon Dock, and then decide where this is headed. Mazgaon Dock all-time high is still at a distance away, somewhere like 24 something, right? This is, of course, yeah, 2522. So still some distance away, but one of the most beautiful swing trades in the making. Then you look at what used to click in the PSU pack, HUDCO and NBCC. One is a financer of housing loans, the other makes homes, and both of them are from the PSU stable. Then look at the metal space, Steel Authority, NALCO, GMDC, Midhani, manganese ore, all of them buzzing very, very strongly in the public sector space. Apart from that, I think one of the best stocks, Sakshi, to understand how markets have moved today would be Hindustan Zinc. And look at the low for today, which is 547. From then on, there is a recovery to 559. Of course, you just might see the stock closing marginally down, but remember, it had risen up so sharply that people are not, letting go of this particular counter and hanging on to the long side as far as trade is concerned. Pick up anything in railways. Look at RVNL, IRFC, Railtel, and of course IRCON. These are the stocks that come to my mind immediately. very strong single digit gains. Then move towards the 10 Adani stocks. I think one of the biggest indicators that the market has given today in terms of accepting that there seems to be good news waiting for the BJP on 4th of July is the Adani pack. 5%, 5.8% higher on Adani Power, 5.5% higher on Adani Total, 5.5% higher on Adani Enterprises, ACC 4% higher, Ambuja 3.8% higher, Green, Adani Wilmar, NDTV, Adani Ports, all of them, showing very strong gains accompanied by very high volumes. I think the stock for today would be Cochin Shipyard, 1349. Let's just see what is the all-time high and then speak to Nilesh. Cochin Shipyard to you, Nilesh, what do you think is the chart telling you? I think we'll have an all-time high tomorrow, which is 13,674 so far. Any view here? Already 1 crore shares have been traded.
So this particular counter has been in an uptrend, I would say in a secular uptrend, and the recent correction given a good opportunity to take a long positions. Yes, certainly we might see a fresh record high. Maybe tomorrow we see those levels, but position target for this particular counter comes around 1500 plus. So at current level at 13% up is definitely not advisable to chase. But if somebody is already holding the long position, can continue to stay put, keeping a trailing stop loss below 1300. This particular counter has a potential to test 1500 on immediate basis, and maybe beyond that it can move towards 1700 to 1800 as well. So yes, a very strong chart pattern here as well as in Majgaon Dock.
Okay, got that. Anything in the railway space that looks positive to you? RailTel is up by about 9% odd. Ircon International, IRFC, IRCTC, they're all a buzz in trade today. IRCTC up by almost 4% now.
So in fact, the space as a whole is looking positive. So within F&O space, IRCTC is one stock that is looking positive for 1060 sort of target on the upside. 1014 should be the stop loss for the long position, and one stock within cash space, that is RVNL. So RVNL is also looking strong on the chart. The recent correction here as well has given a good opportunity, and the stock has retested its breakout level at 260. So looks good for 290, 300 sort of target on the upside, and stop loss can be placed somewhere around 268.
Okay, understood that. So that's as far as the railway move is concerned. But 320, we should take your BTST or STBT calls if you can share with us, Nilesh.
Right, so two new ideas. First of all, Trent. So Trent is giving a good breakout, as a fresh breakout, I would say, on the daily time frame chart, and it looks strong for upside move to continue towards 4600 on immediate basis and 4680. That could be the second target in Trend. Stop loss should be placed somewhere around 4470. So somewhere near today's low, 4470, the stop loss should be placed for the long positions. And apart from that, the other stock that is looking positive is Biocon. So within Pharma Pack, this particular counter is on the verge of a breakout from a consolidation. Looks good, and we can expect further upward to continue towards 318 to 322. 305 should be the stop loss for the long positions.
Okay. So that's the view coming in on the BTST calls as well. There are some more numbers that are coming in. Let me just read out a few numbers that are coming in right now for all our viewers. BLS International Services, it's reported profit after tax of 81 crores versus 69 crores, revenue of 450 crores, which is steady from 449 crores, EBITDA which is at 90.3 crores versus 66.5 odd crores. The stock has seen some uptick coming in, about 2.6% higher in trade. Similarly, there's another one, Kirloskar Brothers, the stock is suddenly shot up, so the earnings coming in from this one. Consolidated profit after tax, it's increased from 100 crores to about 150 crores year on year. The stock is now at 7.4% higher in trade at 1529. sharp increase in the profit after tax. We are also looking at consolidated revenues, which have improved to 1200 crores from 1120 odd crore rupees. And let's also see if there are any other figures that are coming in on the EBITDA figure as well. I'll wait for that. But Kirloskar brother, for you, how are you looking at the stock right now, Nilesh?
See, structure is looking very strong. It has hit a fresh record high today. It is already up close to 8.5% up. And if you look at the volume activity, more than 6 lakh volume can be seen. So good price and volume move is coming today. The structure here as well looks strong. And a further up move towards 1600 to 1650 is quite possible. But for fresh long position, I would say whether better wait for a dip below 1500. The stop loss is coming somewhere around 1460. So structure wise looks strong for 1600 to 1650.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now just 5 minutes left. We won't be taking further trades ideas. Let's just look at the good things in life, which is a very, very strong advanced decline ratio. 1807 shares in the green, 519 in the red. So this is a very, very positive development as far as markets are concerned. Let's look at the broader fall of how the sentiment has shaped up on the large street. Business Today tracks 19 indices for you. 17 of them are in the green, led by the super alpha Nifty metals index, 2.7% higher. Out of the 15 stocks comprising the metals index, 14 are ending in the green, some of them near record highs. The Nifty small cap 100 index is up 2% and the mid cap index is up 1%. Now, this is where we need to understand that the trading mojo within the markets is nothing to be worried about, and 0.5% on the pharma index. So the broader theme in the market is coming back into action. We track 78 PSUs for you. Within 78 PSUs, there are, is that possible? Okay, just 5 are ending in losses, and one of them is Hindustan Zinc, which was already at a record high, and Bank of India still pain there. So the mojo as far as trading is concerned, all the names that Sakshi and I used to take so very often are now coming back into action, and they are showing a very, very robust change in volume. All of defense, all of railway, all of PSU stocks are now ending in the green. The rally today has been led by defense. One understands that this might go further as far as tomorrow is concerned. The only point of issue that I have is that today overall volumes are not to my liking, but I am very happy even with the modest volumes that we have. The top traded counter today is Zomato, down 3.5%, 2000 crores in terms of volume, but the remaining 11 after in the top 12 are in the green, and that's a very, very positive picture, ladies and gentlemen. I am also hoping that today India VIX, after a 13-day rally, will end in the red, and that itself is a sign that a host of new participants will come into the market from tomorrow onwards. If you had put in that ETF on Monday, on last Friday, as Business Today has suggested, you would be smiling a lot more than what I am now. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shell. Now 2 minutes to go. Nilesh, quickly, could you tell us what would your strategy recommendation be for investors and traders for tomorrow?
So Sakshi, a good rebound that we have seen in last 2-3 consecutive sessions. So structure wise, we are still very much bullish on the market. And as far as Nifty is concerned, we are expecting Nifty to test 22,400 to 22,500 on immediate basis. Similarly, for the Bank Nifty as well, the structure looks positive for 48,200 to 48,600. We have seen a good cool off in the India VIX volatility index. And looking at the today's reversal candle, we expect some cool off to continue. So overall, good positive market bet was seen today, and broader markets have also participated very well. So any dip can be a good opportunity, good buying opportunity. and we are focusing on sector specific moves, so autos, metals, and also pharma. So these are the three specific sectors that we are very much bullish on. And apart from that, we are expecting some short covering to continue in the Nifty private sector banking space as well as PSU banking space. So yes, across the board, buying can be seen today. We expect similar kind of action in tomorrow's trading sessions as well.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Nilesh, then for being with us on this show. Appreciate your time with us, and hope you have a great time till we meet again on Market Today and on Business Today television. Time to wrap up the markets, friends. It's about 120 point of an uptick that you see on the Nifty, 118 right now. So what a number to be seeing on the screens. It's 5 2s on the Nifty. We'll wait for the settlement trade to happen and see if this really sustains. So that's what it is ended at. I'm sure this is a great sign. Shell, what would your numerology skills say on 5 times 2? What does it indicate for the Nifty?
Sakshi, it's a double Nelson. So you have 2 2 and 3 2s. And this is, really amazing. In technicals, I think, around 325, 316, I thought I'll mention to you that I'm hoping that the index will close above 2222. But these are very good signs. I remember vaguely there was a major weekly or monthly pivot. Okay, now let me just get this for you. 222.
I think it's called the angel number.
I think there used to be a I'm not very sure about the angel number, but it is a very important number on the chart of the Nifty. I'll get that detail for you tomorrow morning. My understanding is that it's a weekly or a monthly support level. Let me just try and find that out. But I'll come back to you. This is, I think, yes, okay. So this is the monthly pivot, 2222. So if we've closed above this, it shows that from tomorrow, Sakshi, things will improve, and maybe the market will now start believing in the strength that the BJP has already been projecting, and let's hope for the best. Sakshi.
Hoping for the best and keeping our fingers crossed for better days ahead in terms of the markets, and the market moves right there. Towards the end of the session, a whole host of stocks that caught the attention. Hutco up 7.5%, IRCTC up 4%, NBCC up 5.5%, Cochin Shipyard up 11.7%. These were the big bang movers in trade today. Along with this, Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises, they've all been in the thick of action. Ethos moved by 5.5% as well. A whole host of these big movers coming in. Nalco, of course, in the FNO space up about 7% on the top moving front as far as Nifty is concerned. Adani Enterprises, M&M, Hero Moto, Larsen & Toubro and JSW Steel, the top 5 movers. When we talk about the top 5 drags on the Nifty, yes, we had Cipla that dragged 4%. Almost all the gains of yesterday, I think, have gone. Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Consumer Products, Nestle, Axis Bank, Dr. Reddy's, these were the big drags. But sectorally, of course, things were definitely positive in the markets. Broader markets also shown through. When we talk about the big moves coming in on the mid cap and the small cap indices, you will see that both of them ended in handsome green. As far as the mid cap 100 index is concerned, 1% higher, and the small caps recovered all of yesterday's losses, 2% higher in trade. India VIX lower in trade, just like how Shell was pointing out, 0.7% of a loss, 20.46 for this one. And among the other sectors, we did see moves coming across. Metals that shone brightly in trade today. Autos about 1.8% higher, 2.7% up for the metal space. PSU banks up by 1%, 1.5% higher for the oil and gas index. We'll wrap it up at that, viewers, but do stay tuned as we continue to get you more action on your screens from the world of business and finance.
Increasing manufacturing is not that easy, given the kind of mistakes that were made in the past. or the lack of progress, I would say, in the past. I'll give you an example.